Good evening, everyone. My name is Matt Waters. I'm representing Rage Boxing Promotions. I'm here to welcome you to the press conference for the WBU World Heavyweight Championship fight that's going to be held this Saturday night at McElroy Auditorium right here in Waterloo, Iowa. For the first time in history, two Iowa natives will be fighting for a heavyweight world title in their home state. We have Fort Dodge native Jeremy Williams, who has won back-to-back national titles in the Golden Gloves division, as well as 3 USA Boxing national titles, and at one time held the world record for the fastest knockout of 8 seconds. Facing him will be Waterloo's very own Travis Fulton, known as the Iron Man. This is a fight you're not going to want to miss. The card is filled with local talent as well, including 4 former Golden Gloves champions. In addition to Jeremy Williams, we have Tomlinson. We're going to have Sykes and Donovan, who is from Davenport. I can assure you of a great night of boxing for anyone who attends. At this moment, I'd like to welcome Mr. Travis Fulton to the podium and hear anything he has to say about this big opportunity. Travis?
I don't have any cue cards up here to read, so I'll just say whatever. Just honored to have a title boxing match. I'm mainly an MMA fighter, but I can cross over. I've had a few boxing matches and fighting a really tough guy on Saturday night. I guess we'll see what I can do when I can't actually take you to the ground or kick you.
All right, thank you, Travis. Now I'd like to welcome Jeremy Williams to the podium for some thoughts on the fight.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to this great group of people who came out, all 6 of you. It was great. It's cold for me. I live in California. I'm a native of Fort Dodge, Iowa, and I've lived there for a couple years of my life. And every time I come back to Iowa, it really makes me feel good to come back to a place where people treat me like family. Coming here to Waterloo to fight has been a long process that I've been with Don and the WBU. I've had this fight scheduled a few times before this and fell out. And be it God's hands or fate or divine intervention, you know, the fight fell out a couple times, and now it has ended up in the lap of Iowa, and that is for me a really tremendous event. I plan to win the WBU World Heavyweight Championship on Saturday. Period. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. Best of luck to both fighters Saturday night. We hope for a good, clean, honest fight. At this time, I'd like to welcome up Don Lewis, who is president of the WBU, for any comments he may have on the event.
Well, unlike the fighters, for me, you'll probably have to shut me up by just walking out of the room because I talk way too much. But it's a great privilege to be here in Waterloo, and I say that because, as everybody knows, and especially the press, there's a lot of talk about alphabet bodies. Well, let me just tell you this. When it comes time for sanctioning bodies to put their money where their mouth is, my organization is the WBU and IBU. We're right there with the so-called Big Four at every convention making policy for professional boxing. And in the professional area, outside the mainstream media, we get the same respect. And what I'm the most proud of is giving fighters the opportunity to get squeezed out of the so-called big championships because of politics, promoters' contracts, and unfortunately graft. The one thing about me is I tell you just the way it is. And to have someone like Jeremy, who was a victim, I feel, and with some of these politics, to fight for our title, the perseverance of his last year, it's been incredibly difficult for him. I'm especially proud to come to the Midwest because boxing needs places outside of LA, Vegas, and New York. We have to build a sport, and we have to bring it to the people. And to fight someone like Travis, who's a modern-day Rocky, it's going to be a great fight. 2 different styles, 2 different fighters, right here in Iowa. And I'll tell you this is a fight you throw age out the window, you throw attendance out the window, you throw records out the window. This is about World Championship boxing. And whoever wins this belt deserves it and deserves to be called world champion. And any other fighter out there, either the Klitschko's, David Hay, Tony Thompson, if Seth Mitchell and Jonathan Banks thinks they're ready, or the kid, I'm from the South, believe it or not, Deontay Wilder, I'm sure that if he picks up the phone and calls us, that Jeremy will say, come get some. And that's what it's all about, is giving opportunities. You cannot unify titles unless people have the titles. You cannot have an undisputed champion unless you have the titles. Our rules are the same as the other governing bodies. You can call any commission and find out, and you talk to them, we have the same respect. All I ask is that the media give this fight the same respect they would any other fight. And before I shut up, I just want to say one thing about promoter Rage Boxing. Bruce Rumboltz, I saw in a fight in Washington, D.C. when Jimmy Lang was fighting for our 154-pound title. This man, outside the promotion business, is phenomenal when it comes to boxing. Every single second of a fight, he gives his all. Many times he could have taken a knee, retired on the stool. He promotes the same way he fights, with 100% of his heart. And I hope that everyone comes in and supports that, because this man deserves it. And in my book, he's the uncrowned champion of boxing for all the boxers who never won a title or had the opportunity to fight for a title. So please, whatever you do not forget Bruce Rumboltz and Rage Boxing. And I also want to thank Matt, who's been great since he picked me up at the airport, all the logistics works he's done to make this a success. And I'm just very pleased to be here in Waterloo. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Don. Again, Rage Boxing Promotions is going to welcome anyone to the show. It's an all-ages show. Tickets are available at the box office the night of the show. Doors open at 6 o'clock. The fight starts at 7. They will be available at the McElroy box office tomorrow from 10 till 4 as well. At this time, I'd like to open the floor to any questions you may have for either fighter.
Jerry, can you be more specific about coming back? You were out of the sport for a few years. What led you to come back, and what sort of difficulties did you face in coming back? It sounds like the worst.
Well, the difficulties were just on the promotional side. Having opponents and backing out. There was really no. It's not as if the WBU called me or some organization called me and I was sitting on the couch having a pizza watching football. That's what happened. I'm in the gym every day. I've been in the gym since I was 6 years old, literally. Not figuratively, literally. My father owned a gym and we lived above it. I've been in the gym my whole life. I've been boxing since I was 6. I have over 300 amateur fights. I've won every major tournament in America twice. I've been beat up, I've been cut, I've broke my hand in the fight, I've broken hands on people, I've been knocked out, I've been knocked down, I've been everything that this sport has to offer, and I'm still here. The opportunity to fight for the WBU World Boxing Union Heavyweight Championship is, for me, the pinnacle of my career. And I've done everything I can do to put myself in the best position to win the title.
Is it true also that you fought some MMA?
I did. I do. I think MMA is a great sport. I've done. I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm not quite as a wrestler as he is, but I can wrestle. I do understand the differences of the sport, and I've seen that Travis has had many fights, and I think it's a great sport. But it is on Saturday. It's all about boxing. It's all about boxing. It's old school boxing. It's, you know, the sweet science, the fisticuffs. It's mental power, physical power versus everything else.
Travis, you're much more experienced, more successful in MMA. At this point, what does boxing mean? Is it like a second job? Is it something else? What do you get out of this, besides obviously a chance to win a title?
I guess, basically just what somebody told me once was, you teach somebody to box, you can't teach somebody how to fight. And I just like to fight. If I want to kickbox, want to box, want to wrestle, I just like to punch people. And that sounded stupid, but I don't.
Believe it or not, I like to punch people. It's not a far-fetched punch the punching ball. It takes a lot.
Has it been politics that's kept you out of the ring? I mean, all these, events.
It was, again, I've been boxing literally in competition since I was 6 years old. And, I went to the pinnacle of the sport. I was an amateur world champion, I did all that business, I was a national champion, I did all that. And for a certain part of my career, I lost the energy or the spirit to fight. It's like when you don't get nervous about doing it anymore, you probably should quit. I didn't listen to myself, and I stepped back away from boxing. I never really said that I retired. I just kind of stepped away from it. And I got into doing other things. I'm a father, I went to culinary school. I have a degree in culinary arts, so not only can I box, I can cook, I can bake. I have a security company, I do a lot of different things. But most of all, every day around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 I'm up, 7:30 I'm in the gym every day. Because that's just been a point of my life that I find refuge and I find peace in the gym. I find more comfort in the ring, sparring, moving around, and working out than I do just walking down the street.
I know someone here said there's going to be contrasting styles. How much do you know about one another? I guess what can we expect to see Saturday night?
What I would expect to see, what I do see, I watch Travis Fulton fight every 2 days, just in case I miss something. I've watched everything he has on YouTube, everything. And unless, he grew another arm, I think I know what he'll do.
I don't watch much footage on anybody I fight. It depends on who you fight and what type of fighter is showing up that day. I've seen a guy who's 2 different fighters, 2 different fights, so I just kind of take them one at a time and just go from there. You never know which guy's showing up to fight that day.
I will guarantee the best German will show up.
I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. Appreciate it very much. I look forward to a great event on Saturday night. Thank you.